In this video, we get ourselves a new engine for our 1994 Land Cruiser.
Stop it. We're not saying that on camera.
For those of you who haven't been following, let me catch you up to speed. We sold our Sequoia and we bought ourselves a 1994 Land Cruiser. Now, when we bought the car, we knew it had some problems. When I went to go test drive it, the head gasket was failing, and I figured to myself, hey, well, at minimum, this thing's going to need a new head gasket. And then upon inspection of the car, it needs a lot more than that. I wasn't sure how healthy the engine was. And so we decided to pull the engine out. That means I'm obviously not going to restore this engine. So what did we end up buying? A Gen 5 LT 5.3 out of a 2017 Chevy Silverado. As you can see, in order to get this engine out, we had to pull out a ton of parts from the Land Cruiser. I had to remove the whole front end of the car, remove the radiator, remove the headlights, remove the headers, remove so many things. I took out the third row jump seats. As you can see here, I took out the center console. I saved all the wiring I could. I saved the starter. None of this stuff is broken. It kind of looks like a giant junk pile to those who who are seeing this for the first time. But really, all these are good parts. And I'm not quite sure what I need to keep from this pile and marry to this thing to put in here. Here's a part that I guarantee you I'm going to need to keep. This is my oil temp sensor, and it looks like it's also my AC condenser jumper cable. Probably will need that. I also labeled some things on here like shock tower for cruise control wiring, which hopefully we can get cruise control. There are a ton of parts in my garage, and I got to give my wife a giant shout out for letting me take over the garage for this stupid project without having a shop, just so I could put all the stuff in here. Let's move on to the new power plant. The way we got the 5.3 was we saw a Facebook market listing all the way in Oregon, 250 miles away, and the guy was selling everything complete for like $3,800. And so I decided, hey, let's rent a truck and drive 250 miles to grab it and drive 250 miles home. It was kind of sitting in a weird place on his farm. Kind of smelled a little bit like rat shit. There's spiders all over the engine. In fact, there's still spider webs, as you can see now. Overall, the engine and transmission seem to be pretty good, and I'm really stoked to get it. The way we're going to make this transmission fit in the rig, we're going to be using the Torfab Gen 5 LT swap, as you can see here. The beauty of the Torfab kit is it allows the factory transfer case to bolt to the Chevy transmission and engine. Then it puts everything in the factory position of where it needs to be in the rig. So you can retain your drive shafts, you can retain your factory transfer case mechanisms. And so for me, that's huge. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be using Swap Time USA to take care of all of our wiring needs. Now, I do have some lines in with other companies like SpearTech to make these harnesses work, but hopefully Swap Time is the one who can take care of us because they've done this before, so this is not new to them. You know, I'm not the first to do this. There's actually a wonderful build thread on I Hate Mud, which if you guys are old school Land Cruiser heads, you probably already know I Hate Mud. It's probably burned into your brain. But a few people have already done this swap, and they go over step by step of all the parts needed in order to make this swap work. And so I'm just following their footsteps here. I don't know much about the Gen 5, 5.3, Gen 5, 6.0, 6.2, 7. I don't know what the hell. I'm not a Chevy guy. I'm a Toyota guy. If you are watching this video and you know a lot about the Gen 5 LT engines, things I need to change, things I should do, I know that one of the big things you can do is turn off the 4-cylinder shut-off thing on the highway, so you just have all 8 cylinders. I'd love to do that. And then I heard also that there's an issue with these with the lifters getting stuck, and you want to disable that. So that's all I know. I don't know much more outside of that, but if you guys have any knowledge on the Gen 5 LTs, how to make them run a little bit more reliable and turn off all the nannies, please drop them in the comments below. Let me know what I need to do to make this thing super reliable. Fingers crossed, everything is pretty straightforward as the swap goes. Now, I know that nothing is ever straightforward when you're doing a build that is this intense And, you know, there's a lot of variables here. The engine could be a bad engine. The wiring harness could be bad. The ECU could be bad. There's a lot of could-bes. I'm really hoping that it all kind of works out, because if this does work out, this is literally going to be the rig that checks all the boxes for us. Good gas mileage, good horsepower, good reliability. And it takes the 80 series and it puts it into a level where it feels more like a modern rig. I don't have any of the parts here with me today to start rebuilding and refreshing some of the parts on here. I only really just have the engine, but I wanted to give you all a look inside the cylinders here, because it did sit for 4 years, and the seller said it only had 26,000 miles. And a really great way to test to see if that person is full of shit or if the engine's actually in good condition. Now, it does look like it's in good condition. It doesn't look like it has any grease or leaks or anything like that. Is you take out a spark plug, and I'm going to see if I can take this spark plug out here. Okay, look at that spark plug, by the way. That spark plug literally looks brand new. Here, let me put you guys in the light. That spark plug looks brand new. I mean, one, that's a really good sign. So, gosh, I hope that seller is really true to his word. He seems like a nice guy. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put a camera inside the cylinder, and we're going to see what she actually looks like in there. So let's throw the camera in there. All right, I'm going to do this with one hand, so excuse me, folks. Here we go. Let's see if we can get it to focus. All right, okay. Perfect. All right, there's the piston there. And I mean, I just did that with the camera, but I want to show you some of the cylinder walls in this piston. And you can see there's still cross hatching on the cylinder walls, which means this engine is barely broken. And there it is there. That little white thing in the middle of your screen that you're seeing right there, that's my camera just scraped to the piston. That also means like whatever stuff is on the piston is on there pretty loosely. So my camera went in and hit it like that and then came out. So that mark is from me. But let's see if we can get a shot of a different side of the piston here. Let's see if I can bend it in a new way. All right, there's another side of the cylinder walls. Look at this cross hatching. It's still so good. There's nothing wrong here. Piston looks to be in good condition. So that's a pretty good sign. Did that test on site before I brought the engine home with 4 cylinders. I haven't done all 8 yet, so I'll do that off camera just to make sure there are no problems. But so far, fingers crossed, it's working out. I want to take this thing not only to Moab, but I want to take it up against one of those new Ineos Grenadiers. That's kind of what this is. So this has a newer engine and transmission. This has newer tech. This thing is solid axle. The Ineos Grenadier has a newer engine and newer transmission. The Ineos Grenadier has solid axles front and rear. So it'd be really fun to see at the end of the day how the stats stack up against a car like that, because something like that is like 80, 90,000. Something like this is we're going to be all said and done for under 20. Wheels, tires, suspension, like everything. And so maybe that's the better route. I don't know. I'm not a car test channel. Never done anything like that, but I think that'd be really interesting. Anyway, on to the rest of the build. Now that you saw the progress of where we're at so far, I'm waiting for a lot of parts to come in before I can get the engine ready to be put in the car. While I'm waiting to make the most of my time, I'm going to start with restoring some things on the inside of the vehicle here, so I don't have to wait too long for parts. And the first thing I'm going to start with are these seat belts. I've already ordered a new webbing service from Safety Restore, and we're going to be doing the same color brown that came in the car, but I don't want to be driving a car with belts that look like this. So we're going to get new belts on the front 2 seats. That seat, the belt looks to be fine, but I don't want to restore just one belt and have them mismatch. I want them to match. And so I'm going to start with these 2. I'm going to pull them out, send them off to Safety Restore, and see if we can get the new belts in the car, just so I feel a lot safer, and also it'll look a lot better.
We got both seatbelts out, and you can see the driver seatbelt is really bad. The passenger seatbelt, it's not so bad. It's got a little wear on it, but you know, since I'm in here, I'd rather just pull them both out and pay for safety restore to make them good as new. This is cool. I love the little tag here. Right, Land Cruiser only. Pretty sick. Toyota seatbelts covered in dog hair. It's great.
The next thing we're going to have to do is try to shampoo and extract this carpet, and if it can smell better, then I think we're in the clear. If not, then I'll have to get myself a new carpet kit. I'm just trying to save a little bit of money where I can, because I know the engine swap and all the wiring and all that's going to add up, and so if I could save a couple $100 here and there, maybe even $1,000 here and there, it's all going towards the fun stuff. As you can tell, we're starting to make progress on this thing. We are definitely in the tear down phase, or if this was a home improvement project, this is definitely the demolition phase. The next couple steps are we're going to cruise up to Torfab in Washington to do a site visit to see what this would look like in person, and hopefully for some inspiration. We're going to pick up the swap kit from him and all the crew up there. Hopefully we can get the wiring harness sent out so everything works, and then we can start to put all this back together. This has been a fun episode. I'm so stoked to get that 5.3. Really excited to hit the road with this bad boy. The build has officially begun. We'll see you guys on the next one.